Recorded.
Everybody ready? Good morning. Thank you for coming to the meeting, viewing the meeting, or listening to the meeting. Lander County Commissioners meeting Town Board of Battle Mountain and Austin Board of County Highway Commissioners, March 10th, 2022, Lander County Courthouse, Commissioners Chamber, 50 State Route 305, Battle Mountain, Nevada. Austin Courthouse, Commission Office, 122 Main Street, Austin, Nevada, and audio conference. And Brian, you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have a moment of silence. Lander County Commissioners may break for lunch from 12 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. Any agenda item may be taken out of order, may be combined for consideration by the public body, and items may be pulled or removed from the agenda at any time. Commissioners' reports on meetings, conferences, and seminars attended. Patsy?
No report, thank you. The only thing we have coming up right away is today we are doing our unveiling of the plaque to Frances Williamson, who I told you about, which was so active. She was a trailblazer in the suffrage movement with the Women of the Right to Vote, and the State Historical Committee is coming out, and we're doing a unveiling of her plaque in the Visitor Center today at 2 o'clock.
We attended a LEDA meeting. We did not have enough members for a quorum, so we weren't able to complete that. We had a hospital board meeting that I attended. Also, I got information from the water board from Jeff Fontaine that on the last storm that they did cloud seed both the Santa Rosas and Lamoille, and so it seemed to have helped with our snowfall. And so those are the only meetings I attended.
Was that the last storm that hit us on Saturday?
Yeah, the big one, yeah.
I thought Elko didn't get any weather. I thought it was all pretty much Lander County based.
Well, I was told that they did it also in Lamoille, so they did get some over there on the other side, not right in the creek, but on the other side.
Oh, okay.
So they did that mountain range there.
That's
so.
cool.
And we have a weather meeting when, Bert?
The 29th.
29.
Yes, I will
March.
get you, when we firm up the time, I will get that to the commission, that's part of it.
Okay, yeah, now that's open to the public?
You bet.
Okay. Okay, we're working on a forum at Public Lands, but I do want to mention that Reed DeVries, he's running Little League. He signed up over 300 kids. Wow. 314.
Wow.
And he had to cut it off. So
He's been great for that program.
that's just such a great program. There's no two ways about it. Right?
I attended a conservation district meeting. First thing was they're really pushing to get 4-H back up and running. You know, just a robust program. I remember when I was a kid, it was a very active program, and I think it hasn't been as strong as it has been in the past. But they are pushing that. They're going to have a 4-H open house at the Civic Center on April 14th at 4 to 6. They're going to be doing some barbecuing, and so if you guys can attend, people can attend, that'd be awesome. They talked about the infrastructure bill that was just passed, that there is money that can be used for a lot of these allotment projects, so they're definitely looking into that. Another thing that they discussed was starting portfolios of projects that they are funding and doing, to have like befores and afters, to where they can present that to the commission so we can actually see kind of before and afters of what these projects are doing. So that's another great idea. And then it was also brought up that they will be running on the ballots this year for election. There's 3 members that are up, so, but that's all I have. Oh, actually, here's some pictures of some projects that they completed. that you can look at. That's the Home Ranch solar well that they put in. That's all I have, Art.
I don't have anything to report.
Nothing, JR? Okay. Consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and may be acted upon by the Board of Commissioners with one action without extensive discussion. Any members of the board or any citizens may request that an item be taken from the consent agenda, discussed and acted upon separately during this meeting. Consent agenda materials are available at the Lander County Clerk's Office for viewing, and copies are available for a nominal fee. Number one, approve the March 10th.
Arthur, would you like staff reports?
I'm sorry, Bert, I cut you right out.
No worries.
Let's go back to staff reports on meetings and conferences attended.
No worries. A couple things. The only reason I even wanted you, a lot of times I like it when you skip me. But we were approved to stay on our tax exempt status here as a county, so we did attend that. And then our cultural resource management plan, which is something that Art just signed. So we now have the property out here where we can start moving forward with the rail park, and all that land has been transferred over.
Nice.
The other steps that I was telling you about with us fencing off them areas that are historic, that is still in progress, but now we have it in hand and signed. The Austin Post Office, I guess I've had a few people call me that they're having some troubles, and I'm wondering if the commission would like us to send a letter asking for any support or any way we could support. That would be something that is entirely up to this commission, but Patsy's probably more in tune to this than I am. I've just caught the tail end of it, and it sounds to me like she's been more involved than I have.
We, our postmaster had some medical problems. And so in between that, when she was in the hospital and we didn't have any relief people or anything, and then she came back and went to work and then had another problem, and I don't believe she's coming back. So the big problem is our mail, and we haven't had the front office open to be able to get stamps or mail your taxes or packages or anything like that, because it's not open. So you can't pick up the packages. So on the outside, we've got people coming in from Marino and people coming in from Ely, and they didn't even have any kind of keys, and they were sorting our mail in the middle of a storm in the back of their van. I mean, it was horrible, and we still can't get them. We can't get the post office to get in there and appoint somebody and work with us. They just, it's been a real nightmare, and I know there's nothing the county can do. But I do think maybe just a call. You don't have to do a letter, but a call to the postmaster in Las Vegas and tell him this hurts a lot of us here. The thing is years ago when our postmaster retired, a long time ago, they were even considering closing Austin. So I guess I didn't want to make a whole lot of waves and think about them closing it. So we have to be real tactful about how we're doing that. But yeah, I would love that. I don't think we have to put it on the agenda or anything like that, but it's a concern with just a call.
Yep, just as long as I have the general consensus, 'cause I know they are federal, so I'd like the consensus of the board that I could reach out to them, like I say, just offer support, not so much anything to say, why aren't you providing us a service, but what can we do to help, if there is anything, so.
Do you want us to put it on the agenda next time to draft a letter?
Hopefully it'll be settled before then.
So yeah, I will continue and update you guys on the next, but I will reach out and just see what we can do if that's all right with the board.
How do you pay your bills?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. You done, Bert?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number one, under the consent agenda, approval of March 10th, 2022.
We better get public comment, Art.
I can't hear you.
We gotta get public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm way ahead of myself today. Okay, public comment for non-agendized items. Persons are invited to submit comments in writing and/or can make comments on any non-agendized item at the board meeting, if any, and discussion of those comments at the discretion of the board. All public comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person. Again, at the discretion of the board, reasonable restrictions may be be placed on public comment based upon time, place, and manner, but public comment based upon viewpoint may not be restricted. Is there any public comment? Going on,
Morning, Jody.
Hi, my name is Jody Moore, and I was just.
press the green. There you go.
Right in front of
There you go.
My name is Jody Moore. I am looking for an update on the benches and the light posts and the trash cans that were put around town. I wanted to start off and say I think it was a good idea. I think it's a beautification project, which is nice. But I do have a concern, and that concern is when people like myself contributed money for that project, we were told there was going to be a plaque that was going to be put on those items. And here it is 4 years later, and there's still no plaque. So I want an update, please.
I can answer part of it to the best of my ability, because I sit on that board. I know that, I'm working with Paula Tamara, oops, sorry, thank you, forget to do that. I'm working with Paula Tamara, because when they originally sold those, some of them they, sold as whole packages, and then some of them they sold as somebody bought a tree,
Right.
somebody bought that, so they were trying to figure out where they were going to put, if they were gonna put 3 plaques on it, or if they were gonna put 2 plaques on it. So Paula has actually been working in the last month and a half. We went over to the place in Winnemucca to try to get the pricing on getting that done and figuring out, are we putting 3 plaques on one bench? Because if somebody bought a tree and somebody bought a rock, or where do we put their recognition on there? So that has been an issue. And then our last meeting, we didn't have a quorum. And I think the time before we didn't have a quorum. So we know that is a problem. And we had the person leave that was doing it before, so we're trying to kind of figure out, not any shame or blame or anything, we're trying to figure out how to get this problem fixed, and we're aware of it. And every meeting, that is, we owe this to these people who have, because our sorority did the same thing, we bought a whole thing for Annica's house, and so we are trying to get this figured out. And the other beyond that, know that we are trying to figure it out, and that we haven't just said, thanks for your money, but we're not doing anything. So,
Well, that was my concern. It's been 4 years.
Yeah.
We've never got a thank you, or this is our plan, or this is where we're going, or this is what we're doing. It's kind of like you took our money and ran. So I just want
and I respect that, and that's
clarification.
exactly how it
Yeah.
looks. So we are trying, because I wasn't involved in that at all, other than going over. So we will, as soon as we can get a quorum, we have to get this figured out. And I think that they need to invite the people who have paid and said, please come to this meeting, so they know that the ball has been dropped, but it isn't gone. We are trying to get it fixed. And
Is there any
nobody's-
time frame or anything?
well,
I mean, I'm patient, but
well,
4
no,
years
what-
is pretty.
You know, what part of the problem was too is I think with, and Aaron can help con on the hat up here, please. We had, we had an issue with, is it with the DOT and the cement or the rock, or what is it?
Caitlin McConville, planning coordinator for the record. So, we did have some issues with Nevada Department of Transportation with the boulders. They came and said that we weren't within the easement right of way that they granted us, so all of those boulders had to be removed. And truthfully, they could have had us take everything out and move it, so that set us back a little bit. We went and moved all the boulders, and now the people that have sponsored the boulders, we're trying to come up with a solution as to where we can put the boulders and how we can put the plaques on them. So, like Kathy had mentioned at the last meeting, they didn't have a quorum, but LEDA meets the first Wednesday of every month at 3 o'clock. So their next meeting in April, we're really hoping that we can have a quorum and get things.
Because that's the
Back
number
on
one
track,
thing on
yes.
our agenda is
Yes.
trying to get this fixed. But no, it hasn't.
I don't remember the boulders being in that package. It was the,
because if you couldn't have a tree, if there wasn't any water.
and I don't remember the trees either. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
just the
yeah.
bench and the light posts and the trash cans.
Yeah, the trees were in there, and if there wasn't any water,
Water.
then they had decided to do the
boulder.
the boulders.
Yes.
I say rocks, they say boulders, sorry.
I have a question.
It's public comment, so.
Commissioners, please don't ask questions.
Right. We're not
This
supposed
hasn't
to
been
deliberate,
agendized.
right?
This is just an update, and we do not want any discussion between the commissioners or questions asked.
Am I okay to finish explaining what we're doing or not?
You're giving an update
Okay, so,
from leaderboard.
so hopefully by our next meeting, and I'm gonna make sure that you're there, so you have, I want you there, so these things need to get.
Well, I think it's not just me, I think it should
No,
be
and I don't-
everyone who
and I don't know
donated
who's
needs
on
to
the
be
list because I came
updated.
in on the tail end of it, so I only know this much of the story this long, and so, and I don't have a problem working with you and try to get some stuff figured out
No, not
as
at
well.
all. Like you
And
said,
so-
it is Lita's main priority.
And
And
so,
we're
know
trying to
that
work it out.
we are trying to figure out a little bit of a squirrel's nest that we have, and we're sorry. We really are, we're trying to get it fixed, so that doesn't help that, you know, make you feel.
Well, I've been anxious because we've donated one for my grandparents too,
Yeah.
and so I've been waiting and waiting, and I drive by every now and then, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, 4 years, and I
Yeah.
better ask a
So,
question.
We will, and we'll reach out before, and remind me so I don't forget, so I'll actually start calling the members and saying, we have to have you here because we have to get this problem, this solution
Certainly.
fixed.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep, thank you.
And just for clarification, that was not this board, that was the LIDA board.
And I didn't know that until early this morning, because I was all, I'm gonna go to the commissioner meeting. But then, yeah, and I don't wanna bash
No,
on any
no,
board
no,
whatsoever,
it's-
I appreciate the
No, and I
volunteers,
appreciate
but
you coming. It is.
it's 4 years, so I
Yeah, we
thought I would
absolutely,
ask.
and you absolutely, I appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jody.
I have public comment. Ted Herrera, District Attorney. 2 issues. One, commissioners, you all have a copy of the TV channels from the TV board. I met with the TV board representatives yesterday, and they are engaged in trying to update the system, which is much needed. We got 40, 50-year-old technology, trying to bring in signals for television and radio, and I'm going to try to help them update their technology, so I'm working on that, but they gave us, you guys were interested, showed an interest, so I thought to show you all the TV channels we get, and it says, the radios, it says work in progress, but it shows what channels we have and what they're trying to develop. The second thing I have is our advisory boards. We can't keep them full. We need more people to volunteer from the community for our boards. I'm talking about the planning commission, I'm talking about all boards across the gambit. We have 2 vacancies on the TV board they have. So I'm considering asking to put on the agenda a request for some type of advertising scheme so we can get out, we can think outside the box and get people to show an interest in our boards. It's needed, it's required, and I'm hoping that I'm able to do that on the next agenda, and maybe we can come up with some ideas.
And I appreciate that, because there's a lot of older people who have stopped, because it's so expensive with Dish and all that, that have gone to the channels. And, because I get calls from a lot, wanting to know different information. And, I guess I will even volunteer for that board, just because I've had dozens of calls from people. So tell me how to volunteer for that board, and I will.
So on the TV board, it's elected, there's 2 vacant seats up for election, and then there's 2 other seats that are being held that are up for election. So anybody that wants to sign up for that board, I applaud them. It's just a necessary thing to do. Now, I have gone to the clerk's office, and they're helping. I've gone to the treasurer, they're helping. I've gone to Laura, she's helping, and all together, we're gonna try to help the TV board update their system. And so, we're trying.
Okay.
Thank you.
And it's hard, to get people to sit on boards at any time. I mean, I think it costs a gamut, so I appreciate you doing that, because it's tough, and everybody that's been trying to help, so, thank you.
Okay, consent agenda, approval of March 10th, 2022 agenda notice. Number 2, approval of January 13th, 2022 meeting minutes. Number 3, approval of January 27th, 2022 meeting minutes. Number 4, approval of February 10th, 2022 meeting minutes. Number 5, approval of February 24th, 2022 meeting minutes. And 6, approval of payroll change requests.
I'll make a motion, we approve number 1, 2, 3, and 6.
I'll second.
2, 3, and
Hold on, Brian, we need to pull one.
We need to pull one?
We need to make a change. Arthur?
For 1?
Yes. What, on the notice?
No, on the agenda item for
Yeah, but we don't have to pull on.
number 7.
We make that, we don't have to make it. They're
He
approving.
needs to amend this.
What does that have to do with the notice?
It's our agenda.
Agenda notice. Arthur, we told you before you opened up number 1, that you need to modify number 7 and put it's a debt commission, not
Department.
not department.
Number,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so amend your motion.
Yeah, I'll amend my motion to number 2, 3, and 6.
2, 3, and 6.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. And now we need a motion for 4, 5, and 1?
No, just,
No.
No,
I'll make a motion that we approve the amended,
Number 1.
March 10th, 2022 agenda notice.
All right, I'll second. Oh, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Passed unanimous. And 4 and 5?
There's
We
nothing
don't
on.
have
we don't
that.
have 'em.
Okay. Anything else in this area? Okay.
Nope.
For discussion and possible action to approve, disapprove the payment of bills, and we're gonna pull, for Kathy, we're gonna pull check number 214775, and that's for $1,045.06 on March 10th. It was a drawdown from a grant. And for Brian, 214884. probably
And
a
Mr.
payment.
Chair,
Yeah.
I have one, 214806.
Okay, well, let's do the first 2, and then we'll do yours last, Patsy, so that we have a quorum.
No,
Well, I'll
no,
make a motion, we approve the remainder of the bills with those pulled.
I'll second.
Okay,
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now I need a motion for Kathy's check number 214775.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstained, that's to my employer.
Right. And Brian is 214884.
Motion to approve.
Second. You get a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
And now we got 214806, and who was that for?
Patsy?
That's mine.
Okay,
So moved.
second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I
Okay,
abstain, it's per
everybody's
diem, thank you.
Very good, all right.
Okay, number 2, for discussion, possible action, approve, disapprove the renewal of AirMed Care contract, which contains new language.
We need to table that and reschedule it for the 24th.
We're gonna table number 2, pending more information.
I mean, they're showing up.
Oh, wow.
They
Okay,
were unable because, for the record, they sent an email because of the record inclement weather, they were unable to make it here.
is this contract evergreen?
No,
So we don't have AirMed coverage right now?
that's right.
Right. What are we gonna do?
Just what we're doing.
Well, we need to get this information out to people so that they know.
Well, Arthur, you can either approve a contract without them here to explain
No.
the changes,
No.
or you can reset it. Those are our choices.
Well, we
No.
can't renew it
We
because we have
can't
no
struggle
explanation.
with things that are outside our control, is what I'm saying.
No, we can't renew it because we need explanation on the cost and the terms, because it would put us in a bad way. So hopefully we'll have them here next meeting.
Arthur, if you would like, I think that it may be good for us to reach out to a couple other companies and see if they would possibly make proposals as well.
Please.
because with this contract, there's some concerns that we have, and actually thanks to Liz even finding that it was expired, or else we wouldn't have it in front of you, because none of us knew that it was expired until Liz came across it, so
And for the
they didn't
record,
bring it to our attention.
For the record, explain what the hang-up is for the county.
Well, I think my hang-up is that if they're unavailable, that they don't pay any cost for somebody else to make that flight for you. So they could take our money and run and never have any sort of fixed wing aircraft or rotocraft to transport people, and have no responsibility in the matter. So I think that it needs to be in the contract that if they are unavailable, that they bear some of the responsibility of paying the other company, or maybe the difference of the insurance for the individual that it's transporting.
Because that's what's in the original contract.
Well, we can't find that in the original contract. That was what was discussed in the meeting, but that was, it was never brought back into an original contract to have it that way. So I think that when we do reapproach this, that we need to reapproach that and make sure that that language is in there.
Yeah, research that in the minutes or the videos, and so that we have that available when they do come.
You bet.
Okay, number 3. For discussion, possible action, approve, disapprove the renewal of interlocal contract between Lander County and the state of Nevada, acting by and through its Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Healthcare Financing, and Policy of Division of Welfare and Supportive Services for medical assistance provided in Nevada under authority of Title 19 of the Social Security Act.
This is,
Lake and Sullivan, for the record, I just want to let you guys know that we're replacing page 1 on this. The clerk's office already has it, but they had our wrong address still on there, so we did get that corrected.
On page 2 of 3, under D, county agrees, item 3, it's a paragraph that reads, to refer disputes concerning county of residence to NACO, whose decision will be final. This disputing county originally billed is responsible for payment of claims until the dispute is resolved, at which time NACO will issue a written determination to notify the counties involved in the dispute and to notify DHCFP to make adjusting entries. How does that work, since we're not a active member of NACO, Ted?
Please get into the contract.
I
Page
have-
what, 2?
hey, is it page 2?
Yeah, page 2 of 3, D, number 3.
3D.
Are you on A or B?
Oh, sorry.
Because, yeah.
It's under the scope of work. Attachment A.
Okay, and it's page number 2?
Yep, 2 of 3. Item D, county agrees, and then number 3.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, since we're not a voting member of NACO anymore, how does that, does that change things for us, or is it just,
You know, I know that the NACO is involved in the Medicare, Medicaid information and stuff. So whether we're a member or not would be totally irrelevant, I should think.
okay?
It would be, but the question is, do we want them involved?
Well, yeah, kind of, exactly.
So we could go back and ask for another mediator?
Yeah, we can, we don't have to sign today, we can say that we want,
Well, I just think it could be a conflict of interest. I mean,
Yeah.
if there's any hard feelings that we are no longer a
oh,
member,
absolutely.
you know what I'm saying, so.
If you want my recommendation, I'd recommend we not use NACO.
Okay.
Right. So we wanna bring this one back?
I think, you can,
It's a mandate pay.
Huh?
It's mandated. You have to mandate.
you can, why don't you approve it and give Bert and me, the authority to modify and negotiate that specific term.
So it may be mandated, it may be something that we have
Well,
to
that's
do.
what I didn't know if it was, or.
Yes, so
Well,
we,
we have to do this, but I don't think we have to have NACO.
Well, I
But-
think the Department of Health and Human Services it's just involved with them, but they don't have anything to do with how much we pay. It's mandated,
Right.
we have to pay it.
Right, so I'd like to, the document needs to be approved, except for that term.
But it's not due until July, so we could wait another couple weeks.
Well, we could, until the next one.
Why don't you ask about it and inquire about whether we
Okay.
have to, how it's mandated? And if we could use another mediator, and we'll just defer it to the
Okay.
next time,
Okay.
okay?
We'll move this, we'll
Yeah.
discuss this next time.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. If nobody minds, I wanna move number 9 up, because this young lady sat through a whole day last time, and I'd just like to cut
You
her
guys
through.
fascinate me. I'm hanging out with you. That's completely up to you guys.
We'll have you come up.
All right.
How you been?
Fantastic.
How's school?
Good.
Even through the COVID, you guys did
You
okay?
know, COVID actually did us a few favors, I'll
Okay.
say. Thank you. Actually did us a few favors. We were fortunate, we were able to secure a couple PPP loans that kept us operating. We didn't have to lay anybody off. We did have to kind of step back from what we were doing. We imagined we could do things, but that's okay. That's all right. So, sharing with you this PowerPoint, I'm going to get started. I guess really matters most since I handed out to you exactly what we're going over. No, that's fine, we'll wait for it to come up. Like I said, I just handed this out to all of you so you guys can follow along, no problem.
While you're doing that, Melanie, could you ask, I have a question. Did you get a grant from STEM?
From STEM specifically, no. And I'll tell you why. So, also for the record, I need to start this. For the record, Melanie Urquiaga with Nevada Outdoor School. We explored it, and we would have had to really have a new program to make it work for us. So it would have had to bring in a little bit more money. We were thinking about specifically making a couple of our summer camps more STEM focused, and we're still working with that.
Okay.
But
I
yes,
just
I
wondered.
appreciate you asking. Yes, and we're always looking out for funding opportunities for sure.
And who is STEM?
It's science. It's a statewide STEM Science Teachers Association that actually I think has this grant available. If we wanted to come do like a STEM fair kind of thing, they would absolutely support
It's a
that.
new one with the certain technologies. You have to do so much
science,
engineering and technology and stuff.
engineering, math.
But
yes.
they created this group that actually has the money from the state to give away. And a lot of them are to outdoor schools and stuff. So that's why I just wondered
No,
if you
I
had.
appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's definitely something on our radar for sure. So, again, thank you everybody for welcoming us today, and thank you for moving us up on your schedule. Again, Melanie Urquiaga with Nevada Outdoor School, who is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, founded in 2002, long time ago, and receiving our 501c3 nonprofit status the following year. So next year we're going to have a big celebration. It's going to be our 20th anniversary, and should be a lot of fun. So what do? We inspire exploration of the natural world, responsible stewardship for our habitat, and dedication to community. And the main goal of all NOS programs is to influence positive outdoor behavior by providing people the motivation, knowledge, and skills to practice responsible outdoor recreation. So our programs strive to deepen participants' connection to understanding of, and respect for the natural world. We want Nevadans to be healthy, happy, and engaged community members who feel connected to the natural world and choose to explore the outdoors responsibly. So that's really our role. Talking about the STEM and that sort of thing for several years, and again, going back to COVID and what the favor it did for us, for several years we were very much science in the classroom, like hands-on science experiments in the classroom, helping supplement teachers. For a lot of teachers, as you know, don't have a lot of science curriculum in their classroom, especially for grades 1 through 4. But honestly, Mentos bombs are really cool. What do they have to do with nature and the outdoors, right? So that's what COVID allowed us to do, was really slow down, step back, look at our programs, look at our lessons, look at our field trips, our summer camps, everything, and figure out where our role really was, where the need that we serve is, and science specifically is not where our role is. Nature-based exploration with science, language, arts, all of those things thrown in is where our role is now. So again, all of our lessons and all of our field trips are up to the next generation science standards. Teachers, if for instance we're not able to get into the classroom, teachers could get our lesson themselves. It has all the standards, exactly what matches them, and how it would fit with them. So again, what do? We take kids outside. And you know what? We're in Nevada. We have 4 seasons. It's cold. It's 20 degrees out there today. But yesterday we did ATV training, right? So we do things outside and it doesn't stop us. It's you bundle up and you prepare. So, slideshow. So to reintroduce you, NOS works to accomplish our mission by focusing on 3 main areas: youth education, training and skills courses, and healthy community. Our youth-focused programs inspire the younger generation to take a greater interest in nature and see the outdoors as an amazing place to learn and explore. Through school-based youth programs like classroom lessons and place-based field trips, nature after-school activities, and fun exploration-based summer camps, our youth-focused programs engage and empower our next generation of leaders to care about and become stewards of our natural world. Our training-focused programs provide participants with the motivation, knowledge, and skills to practice responsible recreation and the tools to inspire others to do the same. We provide outdoor ethics trainer courses, community outdoor skills, hands-on OHV safety, and educator workshops across the state. Our healthy community programs work within the communities we serve to provide opportunities for people to get outside and explore responsibly, learn more about outdoor ethics and our amazing natural world, and to give back. We lead fun community hikes, seasonal family-friendly programs, take our interactive roadshow and outreach booth to a variety of events around the state. We are also an AmeriCorps Nevada sub-grantee, which is a national service program that places AmeriCorps service members at a variety of nonprofit organizations in rural Nevada, including Nevada Outdoor School, where we address environmental stewardship and education and healthy futures. So that is, again, our role. Environmental education and stewardship, and healthy futures, healthy community, people being active and outside and healthy and fresh air. We all know how great that is for us. AmeriCorps members can sign up to serve a term of service, typically a 1-year term. There's also 6-month and 3-month part-time available as well. Some of the other benefits, serving as an AmeriCorps member, they do get a living stipend. It's not an enormous amount of money, but they also get a ton of training when they're with us, a lot of hands-on free training to make them skilled and responsible outdoor recreationists and educators. But what is also very huge with the AmeriCorps program, I am a very big hater of student debt. I think it is sad that our young people are kind of shoved down their throat that this is the path that you need to take, and take out the loans to make it happen and, figure it out later. And what's happening is we're saddling these kids with tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands worth of debt coming right out the gate. I mean, I can't imagine lots of years ago, 19, 20, 25 years old, and having that surmountable debt right off the bat, right? It's sad. So again, serving with Nevada Outdoor School or an AmeriCorps program, whether or not it's with us or whether it's nationwide, you get a pretty hefty education award. So serving a year with us, the education award is almost $6,400. $6,400 will pay for GBC. Free and clear. No debt. Done. Right? The other great thing is that those that are 55 or older, because a lot of people are having kids that are older age, but also grandparents and stuff, or a lot of people are caring for kids, those 55 or older can transfer that education award to a child, a grandchild, or even a foster child. So that's pretty huge too. Though we are extremely proud of all these valuable programs, we are really here to highlight our school-based programs here in Lander County. We've been periodically traveling to Battle Mountain to provide nature-based science curriculum since 2014, but in 2017 we really began visiting the school once each month instead of just periodically, increasing that to twice a month 2 years ago with really extremely favorable response. Would we love to come more and more? Yes, we would. But like everyone else, staffing is an issue, right? Those AmeriCorps members that I need to come and educate, we're having a real hard time recruiting. Because again, if you're out there looking for a job, AmeriCorps is not the role for you, because you're going to find a job that pays better. You're going to find a job that pays your bills better. But if you can understand the whole package of the living stipend while you're serving, of the education award, of all the training and education you receive for free, it's quite a good package. But you have to know what the benefits are, because if you're just coming to work as a job, likely you're going to find a better paying job, you're going to leave us, and that's what's been happening, sadly. Last school year, this again is based here in Lander County. Battle Mountain Elementary School teachers invite us in their classroom to provide hands-on experiential lessons about snowflakes, animal homes, animal adaptions. We also assist the BLM with their annual Mill Creek field days for 6th grade students. And then since 2nd grade students missed out in 2020 with our field trip, last year we offered our flagship watershed field trip to both 2nd and 3rd grade. So they all got a chance to participate. So far this year we visited our 1st grade to learn about the seasons that we experience here in the Great Basin, and 4th grade to learn about durable surfaces and what makes a natural surface durable, and the minerals we have under our feet right here in Nevada, and specifically here in Lander County. These are a few of our favorable responses we received from teachers. I've included with your handouts today a support letter signed by Lori Sparks. Everybody knows Lori, previous Battle Mountain Elementary principal. Very favorable responses and big fans we have here. Some of Lori's quotes, I really love this, and I'd like to just read a little bit here. With Nevada Outdoor School, children in our communities are inspired to explore, wonder, ask questions, investigate, spend time in the outdoors and in nature. We've made a lasting impact on countless students in the past and will continue to do so well into the future, as long as our community continues to support them both personally and financially in this important work. We have some other big plans for Lander County. This will be the first time this year, but we are planning to have at least 2 days over here this summer to do a full day camp. Is it going to be an overnight camp? Not yet. Again, staffing. Would we love to do everything for every community? Yes, but we have to be careful about that. But we are planning to come over at least 2 days this summer to Lander County specifically for these kids and do a full day camp activity, which should be a lot of fun. You'll see there our new logo called our Actions Impact Choice. Again, what did 2020 and COVID do for us? Helped us really rethink what is our role, what is our education model. And again, we've decided science, STEM lessons are maybe not exactly what we're best at. We're best at getting kids outside and connecting them with the natural world. Action, impact, choice. We all do actions. There are consequences to those actions. There are impacts to those actions. And that's what we empower kids with as well. that whatever action you're doing has an impact. It can be positive and it can be negative, and you have the choice. You have the power to make that choice. You can choose to behave negatively and impact in a negative way, or you can choose to make an impact in a positive way. And it is really, really fun to see that kind of light go off in kids' eyes, because a lot of times they're told like their opinions don't matter, or their thoughts don't matter, or, you know, like don't interrupt mom and dad, or don't interrupt a conversation with so and so or the adults. But when you give kids that power that they have and they can make a difference, is really, really exciting. What I have really here to talk to you about is hopefully financially supporting us again this year. Last year you supported us with $5,000. We're still working on that. We have not drawn down all of that because we're still working through this school year, obviously. And we do have other support here in this community, and that's what this shows as well. Nevada Gold Mines is a big supporter. Small Mine Development is continually supporting us. This is actually $2,500 more this year than they have in the past. SSR Mining here at Marigold, Nevada Division of Environmental Protection. This is specifically for our watershed field trip. This is not the full grant, but that's what supports here in Lander County. We have our AmeriCorps Nevada Natural Service members, and then we have a little bit still that we are searching for to support our programs here. Yes, I guess in addition to the $4,500 that we're looking for from Lander County to help secure a future here, this amount is equivalent or slightly less than what Elko and Humboldt County Commissioners contribute to our programs. I encourage you to consider the academic value and the benefits of learning outdoors that you can help us bring to students and teachers here in Lander County. So appreciate your time. Thank you for letting me give you a little update and giving our spiel. Got any questions?
I do have a quick question.
Yeah, yes.
And I understand why you wouldn't be going into the schools in our southern part of the county for several reasons, but I do wonder if at least Austin would be invited to the schools that
Absolutely.
the 2 days that you're holding here in the summer. You do invite them?
Sure. If you can get me good contacts. I don't have the best contacts down there, so yes.
And
See, now she's wondering too.
She said she will invite them. If
Yeah,
she has
right,
to.
I'm going.
I know, she's like, okay, who's
well,
that person
yeah,
to
we
contact?
only have one teacher, right?
Or to invite them up here for the watershed field trip too.
But,
would be fantastic.
yeah, I mean, I mean, it's not a secret. I mean,
That's fine.
so,
I'll find
so I'm
out.
going, why can't you find out? I guess I'm,
I can find out.
I'll get it to you.
but we
Thank you
certainly have it for you,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
But just an invite,
Yes.
on whether they be able to come or,
For
you know,
sure,
bring a
and
test.
it's
Yeah,
really
that's all.
exciting. This year, we are expanding down to Eureka and White Pine County, serving out of our Elko office.
Great,
Sadly here, like I said, AmeriCorps National Service members, I was hoping to bring on 8 full-time members between Winnemucca and Elko. I have 1 full-time member in Winnemucca, and now just barely 3 in Elko. So
okay.
that limits us on our capacity, which is really, the biggest thing there. But absolutely, I would definitely will get in touch with them to invite them up here.
Thank you.
Yeah, to participate.
Kathy,
Anybody?
you good?
Anyone else?
I just comment, I think what you're doing is great. It kind of parallels kind of with what like 4-H does, a lot of outdoor activity. I think as a society, our children are becoming more interiorized into the technology world. And I just think as a nation, I mean, you just look at obesity, it's off the charts, and it's just, I think this is a very healthy program. I think anything that we can help in regards to this, I think we're building better citizens for the United States. We're building better people for our county, future workforce, healthier people. I think it's great what you're doing, and
Thank you.
I applaud you. So
I appreciate that, and yes, 4-H is great too, and what they help us with, right? So we're working with both White Pine County and Humboldt County for extensions this summer to provide a specific camp for them too.
I was wondering if there was any sort of collaboration.
Yeah,
that's cool.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what it does for, it's a great partnership because we're able to give them something a little different, and they help us with the participants, right? So, yeah, it's a real
And
win-win
we have a new
situation.
educator now, so I don't know whether you've met Lois or not.
Yeah,
Lois
she's great.
Urquiaga?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, I know Lois.
Great,
We've been-
thank you.
yeah,
Well,
we've been-
thank you for coming and thank you for what you do.
Thank you, I appreciate your guys' time.
I have a little bit of experience in education, and the selling point for me, look at the smiles, happy and learning, the two things you need.
Well, and you know what's great too is there's actually, again, what did 2020 do? It also made teachers be a little bit more creative with their teaching practices and stuff. And what parents teachers used to kind of fear with getting kids up and outside and this and that they're gonna come back into their classroom and they're gonna be all wound up and nobody's gonna wanna learn. And what the studies are showing, it's the complete opposite
Right,
of
that's
that.
exactly
It's the
right.
complete opposite, and they are ready, they're recharged, they're focused, they're ready to learn, so.
Okay,
All right, guys, thank you
Awesome,
so much.
thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
Ted, can we honor the request the way the agenda item is written, because it
Please don't
doesn't
ask
have?
the question. Please don't ask the question. It wasn't agendized to discuss in any way.
There you go.
Arthur, we have to agendize it at.
We have to re-agendize it.
We can't discuss it, it's not an action item.
Just presentation.
It's just a presentation.
It's just a
I'm
presentation,
sorry.
you guys will take action when you get
In
together.
the
at your budget
backup
meeting.
material, there's a request.
I'm sorry, but we can't discuss that.
No, on the chair there.
Oh, got it, oh, thank you,
Yes, right on the top, I put it.
perfect,
Okay,
on withdrawal.
so we'll go back to number 4.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Oh, I appreciate this. You know, when you have a little kid say, don't people realize that little kids need fresh air and exercise? You want to.
We all do, big kids too.
Okay, number 4, for discussion possible action to approve, disapprove modifications to the Lander County Plan for the provision of indigent defense services.
Hello, Commissioners, Lake and Sullivan for the record. I just want to point out, on page 11, we did make a change. It was worded wrong on section 7, subsection A. We had 2 individuals instead of 3, so we did make that change. So I'd ask that you approve it with that change, if you would.
So it should read 3 instead of 2?
Yeah.
Page 11.
Lincoln, could you tell me, give me a summation of exactly what the modifications are?
Oh, yes.
From the
Yeah,
original
so
one
the
that-
one that you have in your packet, the changes in there were, what we basically did was the financial eligibility for defendants, we changed that, to where the council administrator didn't have to do the screening for every single defendant that was incarcerated. Now, we basically reverted it back to how the process was being done, and they will get screened at their first appearance in justice court, and then be appointed the public defender.
Now, I'll point out for the record that the reason we had to modify it is because the rules, the regulations promulgated by the legislature and the Nevada Supreme Court didn't allow the judge to do it at that time. Since the original.
Hold on one second, Ted.
Hold on.
Hold on, he's got back feed.
Yeah, I think.
I can't hear.
Is it Brandy that is not muted? Brandy, if you would mute, perfect, thank you.
Sorry. Since the original plan was approved, the regulations have changed that allows the judge to do that. So we've taken advantage of that, and that's the modification that allows the judge to continue doing the screening. And that's due to a regulation change at the legislature.
Yeah.
I have a few things to say. Is this good time? Okay. And if you guys have any questions, my clerk is here also. I'm gonna read this, and just because I took notes, but if you guys wanna stop me in any time, have any questions, or if I say something you're not clear about, just let me know. The court had previously received an email on January 31st from the council admin, which is Lycan, saying she is now the council admin and here's the approved plan. I did not know until I got that email that the approved plan, which was submitted last year to you guys, and it was approved and sent to DIDS, I always get those confused, was approved back in October. And I didn't receive an actual copy of the approved plan until January 31st. Then I read the approved plan. And the approved plan did completely take Justice, I as the judge, out of it. Took me completely out of it. And so I was like, hey, if I'm supposed to be, and I didn't even know about this plan until I received it from Lincoln. Then I actually read the plan, and the plan took me out of it. And I was like, oh shoot, I'm not supposed to be doing this. So I'd had a conversation with Mr. Herrera. He said, no, it's good, they're working on a new plan. I then had a conversation with our assistant DA and Mr. Swanson. Other parties were also involved to be present at that meeting, just so we could all get on the same page. But as the judge was taken out of it, apparently it wasn't felt that anybody needed to attend the meeting. So I then reached out to the Supreme Court and said, hey, I have this approved plan from Indigent Defense Services. What am I supposed to be doing? That's who I answer to, the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, you need to follow that plan till you have something else in writing. So then I reached out and said, hey guys, I'm not supposed to be doing this unless you get me something else in writing. Just get me something else in writing. It's to cover the court's act in this process, which I want to make very clear. I have always screened for the public defender. I have always appointed the public defender. We are the first step in justice court and in district court. We've always done it. I don't have a problem doing it. I would prefer to do it. The problem is the first plan took me out of it. And it put a lot of responsibility, the first plan, on the council administrator. But unfortunately, as that's all I had in writing, that's kind of what I had to follow. So I reached out to the council administrator with a copied Mr. Ramus as county manager that said, look, I'm not supposed to be doing this. You guys are supposed to be doing this, but if you don't do it, please, I'm making it perfectly clear, I will continue to do it. My job is to make sure that the defendants are getting taken care of in a timely manner. So I have continued to do it. So then last Friday, I received, can you give me a cup of water, please? I'm sorry, I'm getting dry mouth. Last Friday, I received an email from the council administrator, Lakin, with the new plan, which put me right back into the middle of it, which is great. I'm very happy with that. The problem is it's not very clear and concise. If any of you actually read through this, as many times as my criminal clerk and I have read through this, it is not clear and concise. There are parts on this plan that puts me back into the screening, but then on page 17, Lakin does the screening. So it's not very clear and concise. And if you guys are going to approve this and send this on to the Board of Indigent Defenses, I just need, what I would like is all interested parties, including myself, who's going to be doing it, involved in how this reads. Because if this goes to bids the way it reads and it gets approved, that's what I have to follow. So it can say our Argenta Justice Court's doing it on this page, this page, this page, and this page, but then on page 17 it says I don't do it. The council administrator does it. It just needs to be a little more clear and concise.
So if I could speak on the page 17, she's referring to section C, number 4. That's only if the public defender and the first and second tier conflict out, then I recommend the council to the court. Is that what you're referring to?
Oh, hang on a second, which is where I probably need.
It's
Ted?
under the appointed council administrator.
Did this
Council
come from
administrators shall
the
be
Committee on
employed-
Indigent Defense?
Yes, and to me, it's very, it's not ambiguous at all, the language,
Which one?
I would recommend approval of this, and the part of the plan, the district attorney's office and the judiciary has no say.
Where was it saying that?
They have no say. We have no say. We're supposed to keep out of it.
Well, but this is putting me right back in the middle of it, so I kinda do have some say.
No, you're done.
Just not in the plan. I'm
Okay,
not
done.
saying in the plan. I am saying, as for my role, I need it clear.
Lakin, I think what she's referring to is C on page 17, which actually says that if the public, just like you said, public defender, tier 1 and tier 2 conflict out, then she does the screening.
Right.
She only does the screening for the 3rd tier.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's pretty specific.
The financial eligibility screening she wouldn't do. That's already done.
Where do you see that at, Jen? Sorry.
Right here, it says the council administrator shall be employed to determine eligibility screening.
It also has that under
Do you see that?
section 3,
Oh, so
letter C.
ours is starts on 16 at the very bottom.
Oh, I'm sorry,
And
our
theirs
pages are different.
smaller.
I apologize.
And then it goes into 17. That was my mistake. I didn't catch that sentence. That's the section where it says what the council administrator is required to do. And it used to be that I would do all of the financial eligibility. So I changed it in all of the public defender and first and tier sections.
We just need to change it in A.
Yeah, I
Okay,
just need to
see.
remove that
Yeah,
sentence.
yeah.
And the definitions as well, under section 3, council administrator. That's our page 2.
Page 2, you said?
Page 2.
Council administrator who provides services to screen the defendants for indigence. So that's the only thing I'm questioning. If this goes in as saying that, I'm not gonna be able to screen, council administrator will screen. I just need that little part fixed.
I think that part on page 2 isn't saying, it's not specific to financial screening. It's just saying you make recommendations to the court who should be appointed.
Well, it says
Page 2, which one?
It's not specifically related to financial.
It's not.
Page 2. So it's the very next page.
Well, no,
Right.
I know, but are we just?
Oh,
looking at-
C?
It's,
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
definition of the council administrator. And in general, the council administrator does screen defendants for indigence. Now, it doesn't make a financial determination, and it doesn't say it makes a financial determination. So I don't understand the
Well-
ambiguity or the problem here.
So what kind of screening, if it's not the financial screening, what kind of screening are you?
Investigation fees, things of that nature that she does. She approves that.
Well, this says to screen for indigence,
Indigence, that's
which
what,
is the financial screening, is it not?
it doesn't, it's not the determination of indigency. If you would like a word or two
We can make
to
it more
make
clear.
you
Thank
feel
you,
better
that's all I
about it,
need, yes.
let
Yes.
me know and just tell us.
Exactly.
Because to me, it's not I'm not trying to argue with
No,
you.
no, I get it.
It's not
I-
ambiguous to me, but if
Right,
it
it's
is
not to you,
tell me
correct.
a word or two to
But
put
it
in
is to the court, yes, and it is to the court. It's a little,
there. Okay, then what do
unclear.
you want in there?
yep, which is exactly why we had reached out when we got this and said, hey, can we talk to you about this? We tried to do that so that we didn't have to be here. The only other thing I have a question about is that form, where is it? There's a form, the plan reads right now, an instruction sheet will be given to the defendant.
Is that the old plan or the new?
No, this is the new plan, that an instruction sheet is gonna be given to the defendant when I'm doing this, okay? The new plan, I'm the one doing this, I don't know anything about an instruction
Well, ask
sheet.
her.
I believe that's the state's sheet, so maybe Marcy can speak to that.
And
because
Marcy's on the line,
it-
she can
It's
unmute.
the eligibility screening questionnaire, I believe.
Why don't we open it up for Marcy?
Would that be the next,
Hello, Commissioners, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
is that the next item?
Hi.
Or is
No,
this-
it's this.
Yeah,
one.
it's this one.
Did you want me to answer a question?
Marcy, you've listened to what the judge is saying,
Yes, I've been
and
listening.
you've listened to what we said. Do you have any thoughts on this?
My only thought could be to clear it up is if you want to cross out on, I have it as page 16, the system of council administrator definition. You could cross out that the determine eligibility screening.
Yes, I do have that, to take that out, Mercy. The form that, the plan is referring to, is that the questionnaire that, the basic one that the state provides? Is that the?
The Supreme Court made a recommendation of a form that could be used to determine indigency. I did forward that to Lakin if Lander County would like to use that form that was created by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, well, it's in the plan, so, I mean, I don't care whether you guys use it or not, it's whatever you guys put in the plan, and if it's something I need to be doing, I just need to know about it.
I think it's just a basic form that, like she said, the state provides, and like some of the sheriff's office have it, and they keep it, and they give it to the.
Well, you have your own form, right, Judge?
When they get
An
incarcerated.
instruction sheet? No.
No,
Like a
a
questionnaire. that you
determination
ask
of
them.
indigency form.
Oh, it's just their wages against the indigent thing, yes, we have our own.
So I
Yes.
think we can
Is
use
that
our
what
form.
that is?
Yeah, it's
So can
so
we-
for them to ask.
Can we
ask
like
those
reword
questions.
that from
Yeah.
saying instruction sheet to financial screening? I don't know.
Questionnaire or something.
How
like
would
that.
you-
Marcy, can the judge continue to use the present form she's using?
Yes, I have not seen the form, but what we would recommend is if you attach the form to the plan so everyone knows what the form is.
Okay, so
Possibility, but
we'll
yes,
attach,
but-
we will attach what the judge uses now to the plan.
That sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, Denise, I'm the one who actually brought this here, and the reason being is because I wanted Lakin and myself, I know that you and Ted are not supposed to be really in this, and so I
Involved,
wanted to
correct.
make sure that all the conversations we have are above board.
Well, that was before the the regulations got changed back in October. And the regulations got changed from the Indigent Defense Services, according to Marcy, October 26th or October 25th, putting the judges right back in it. It
Right.
wasn't feasible to keep the judges out of it. Lakin does not know 7 days out of the week when people are getting arrested, and nobody, unless it's a full-time job, which you guys didn't create a full-time
No,
job for
it was
this.
a positive change.
It was a very
Very
positive, yes.
And that's why
It is
that's
a
the only
positive
reason for
change.
the modification.
Yes,
Judge.
but
That's why we
she wasn't able to do that,
Yes.
so Indigent Services changed their regulations, which did put me back in.
Right.
No, I just wanted everybody to know why it is sitting in
Yeah,
front of us and why we
yeah.
didn't have this conversation somewhere else and not have to do it in a commission meeting. It's just to keep it above board so Lakin and myself don't end up somewhere, because I don't have a full understanding of it. But as what I do understand is that they are asking for the DA and the judge to not kind of encroach in the process, so I wanted to make sure anywhere that it is, that it's above board.
Right, well,
Right,
so
right, yes.
your comments and mine
Yes.
should be on the record.
Yes,
To
yes,
protect
yeah,
ourselves.
yes, and I get that. I just need, if I'm the one that's going to continue doing what I have been doing for the last 3 years, and what Judge Bunch did for 23 years before that, I just need to know who I answer to, which is the Supreme Court, and then under them, the Department of Indigent Defense Services, that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I just needed it spelled out a little more clearly, because I had one document saying one thing, another document that says something else. I just needed clarification, and we couldn't get the parties together, because I wasn't supposed to be part of it, to get it cleared up. So that's why I'm here today.
Are we clear?
As long as those changes are made, we're clear.
So we'll attach your form, if you could give
Mm-hmm.
Lakin a copy of your form, and we'll attach it to the plan, Judge.
Oh, wait, sorry, we do have one more change, and this is kind of a big one, and I will show it to Lakin. If a defendant bails out of jail.
Where are you?
Well, my pages are different than yours.
Page 6, number 4, and it's subsection A.
The in-custody defendants.
In custody defendants.
Okay.
And Mr. Herrera, you can help us with this on one too. If an individual remains in custody, no. If a defendant bails out of jail or is otherwise released before filling out the paperwork to
Where's it say? Oh.
request counsel, there is no requirement to make an eligibility determination. That is not true. Later, when they come to court and ask for the public defender, that can happen in an arraignment, it can happen between an arraignment and bench trial, it can happen before a prelim. They still need to be taken care of, even if they're out of custody. So we need to clear that up.
Right, but there's no need to do it within that 48-hour period.
I know, but it doesn't say
No,
that.
it does say that, but it is, this one is a little ambiguous.
Yes. Yeah, it says.
I think it's because it's under time, the time
Time
section.
eligibility.
Yeah,
Right.
so it doesn't have to be done within the 48 hours.
Right,
of
that's
the
what I
Correct.
mean.
individual's arrest.
So if we could just add that, it does, but the
The
way that it
48 hours
reads,
doesn't
it's saying
say-
there's no, yes,
Okay.
yes.
It's
yeah.
under in custody defendants, Judge, and it's under time for eligibility recommendation.
But then it
So
says
that
if
it-
a defendant bails out, that's not an in custody
No,
defendant.
that means
But it's
that
saying-
it doesn't apply any longer.
Yeah, so it's saying if an
It's-
individual
it's
remains
within
in
its
custody.
context, right
within-
there.
Yeah, so it says the eligibility screening shall occur within 48 hours of the arrest, but if a defendant bails out
If a
or is
defendant bails out of
released,
jail's
there's
released,
no requirement
there is
to
no
make that
requirement to
within
make
the
an
48
eligible,
hours.
within the 48 hours.
Yeah, because it's in that time section, so it is kind of confusing, but since it's referring to the time for the eligibility.
Gotcha. Is that okay? I mean, are we clear enough? Is that gonna be clear enough? I mean, but it did remind me also about one more thing. The bail hearings. Is that the back page? This, bail hearings. Why is this part put in the indigent defense? Why bail hearings have nothing to do with the indigent defense?
Ted, page
On
19.
Number 19 on
Sections, what is that, 12?
7.
12? Right, 10 is, X is 10, right? 12.
19.7.
Page 19, the very top.
Yeah, bail hearings. We're just wondering, and I'm okay if you leave it in here, I really don't care. I'm just wondering why it's in here. Because it makes it as part of the agreement that I shall make arrangements to include counsel at the first appearance, bail terminations and stuff like that. I don't know why that's in the plan, because that's set by statute. I automatically do that. I don't know why that has to be in
Well,
there.
that would be the indigent committee that you would have to ask.
Yeah, because it
Yes.
was in there.
I would agree with you on that.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I've
you, Ted.
agreed with you on that from the inception.
But I think it was in their provisions, wasn't it? That we
Yes,
had to
it's
have.
in their provision.
So
We
can
have
we
to
ask
have a
Marcy, does that
section.
need to be put in there? Because truly, the Board of Indigent Defense Services doesn't tell me when or how to do my first appearances. The Supreme Court does. So I have kind of an issue with that.
Marcy, can you
And-
speak to that?
This is Marcy. What the requirement is, and this is in section 23, subsection 4, it says that a plan must require that an attorney be present at initial appearances and be prepared to address appropriate release conditions in accordance with all relevant law, rules of criminal procedure, and case law. So it could be changed rather than it being the justice of the peace shall make arrangements. You could change the language to mirror what's in that subsection 4, saying the public defender is required to be present.
Yeah.
That's what we're asking
Yes,
to be
yeah.
replaced with the
What?
plan.
But the rules and regulations do allow you to allow and be present telephonically.
Well, the Supreme Court allows me to let them be there telephonically,
Right, so-
which is exactly what I'm going to do.
So,
but-
well, this doesn't change that, is what I'm.
Right. It's just like Marcy said, it shouldn't be if we can take out the part that just says the justice of the peace shall make what she just said, what is in their rules and regulations?
Marcy, can you tell me what section you were referring to in the regulations one more time?
Yes, it is Regulation 23, Section 4. And it's just a requirement that your public defender be present for those hearings. Telephonic is fine, or whatever is appropriate with the court. But all we need is a requirement for the attorney to be there.
Okay, I will read that section and word that a little differently.
Okay.
Anything else, Judge?
No, I don't believe so. I think we're,
We would like you to approve this with all the modifications that have been discussed.
Modifications mentioned,
Yes,
and you're gonna take care of that.
and Lakin and I,
Okay.
and Marcy.
You need a motion? And, I need discussion.
oh, wait, sorry, I'm so sorry. That's why my clerk is here, because again, we've read these things so many times.
Which one?
Right here.
Read.
Clerk shall submit a
Page
written
5?
recommendation.
Make sure it's the same color.
Yeah. I just need that a little more clear. Who the heck am I recommended to? Yeah.
Page 5, number 3. So I think you basically are submitting a recommendation in court, I guess is what. I don't think it necessarily needs to be a written recommendation, but if I'm understanding it correctly, it's just in court on the record recommending that they be appointed the public defender.
Yep, I do, but the problem, the new plan says I have to do it in writing.
Well, you do, your form is in writing.
Court shall submit a written recommendation
It's your
to
form.
appoint.
It's your form.
It's your
So
form.
so you're saying the appointment?
That is it.
Okay,
Your form.
okay, just wanted that cleared up,
Yep.
okay. Appointed form, yes, and we do that in court, okay, good, okay. And again, for the record, I want to apologize for having to go through all this, take up everybody's time, have so many questions. I tried to get this done before this meeting, it was not able to be done. That is why,
This is the appropriate time. We
this
want
is the
you to do it.
appropriate time,
We should
okay,
not have been doing it.
good, okay, so,
So you're fine.
I'm good,
No,
okay.
no apologies needed.
Okay,
We'll
just
take
want
care of
it
it. Thank
clear
you.
and concise for the
This
court.
is how we should have been done.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
We need a motion?
Thank you, Marcy. Yes.
Thanks, Marcy.
Okay, thank you, Lincoln.
Yeah, thanks.
Need a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the modifications to the Lander County Plan for the provision of indigent defense services, and it will be taken care of with the modifications that we just discussed.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Was unanimous? Okay, we're gonna take a break.
Thank you.
Take a break.
Muted. This conference is no longer being recorded.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I was a little slow today.
This conference will now be recorded. Unmuted.
Okay, number 5. For discussion and possible action, approve, disapprove 2 contracts for conflict indigent defense services Tier 1 and Tier 2 pursuant to Lander County Plan for the provisions of indigent defense systems.
Services.
I have a question on this.
Okay.
Why are we doing it such a short amount of time?
Okay, I can answer that one.
Go ahead.
The public defender contracts expires in 8-9 months. So we wanted to put them all 3 in tandem. So all three contracts will expire simultaneously.
Okay,
That's the only reason.
well, I saw 6 months and I thought, why would we do
Well,
6 months?
we don't wanna have 2 conflict
Got it.
public
No, makes
defenders
perfect
and not
sense.
have a public defender, so.
And we're gonna have to find a replacement for Lockie and McFarland as well.
Because
In 6
Dave
months,
Lockey is retired. McFarland, and they have both practiced here for 30, as long as I have, because I went to school with them. He's going to retire at the end of this year, sure. And we'll be really sad to see them both go, because Lander County has used them
Yes,
for
we have.
years and years, and they've been very solid to us. So, and we have a problem, we have a deficiency of attorneys, as everyone knows in this area. So,
The Department of Indigent Defense did have a couple comments on the contracts. I discussed them with Ted already. They asked that, they said that it seemed to be missing the qualifications of the attorneys. So an easy way to solve that is we could just attach their qualification letters to the contracts, if that's what you guys wanna do. And then, they also requested that section 11 and 12 be deleted from the contracts, or that the language be added that the contractor can assert privilege or confidentiality of the items under the Nevada Rules of Professional Conduct, and the county will not unreasonably object to the assertion of privilege.
And what pages are those? Is that
Pages 3 and 4.
3 and 4? I thought.
So, section 11 and 12, and it's just where the documentation,
Well, you're gonna have to wait till the 26th.
that it can be subject to inspection by the county, but they just wanna make sure that the confidentiality
Portion, okay.
isn't broken in that, so.
So are you gonna just go ahead
Okay,
and add
you-
that part?
Is that okay, Ted?
11 should be taken out.
Okay.
And 12?
In my opinion, 11 needs to be taken out.
Why does 12 need to be taken out?
Because it's,
No, he's saying 11 needs to be taken out, what do you wanna do with 12?
11 should be taken out because, I haven't read 12 yet.
Okay, yeah.
Because of the confidentiality
Confidentiality, yes.
on both of them?
Any books, yeah.
Okay.
11's out, and what else?
Will be a big, okay, yeah, 12 needs to be taken out. This independent they don't work for the county, so it's not the county doesn't own the property.
Even if the county produces the material to them?
We don't,
We don't,
Oh, we don't?
we
No.
don't.
we don't.
Okay.
So
So that's
11 and 12,
12?
yes.
Okay, so, we'll remove those.
Okay.
And then there was a typo on, Lockheed and McFarland's, there's an extra 0 on page 2. There's an extra 0 on the 49,950, so we'll remove that too.
Oh,
Otherwise, that's all the
Okay.
comments I have.
Okay. I will make a motion that we approve the 2 contracts for the Conflict Indigent Defense Services for Tier 1 and Tier 2 pursuant to Lander County Plan for the provision of indigent defense services. And the one is to Deborah Amons and her law firm, and the other is Lockheed and McFarland Limited, the other law firm. I also want them to modify the contract by taking out number 11 and number 12, the county inspection and disposition of contract materials, and then make the one,
zero out.
yeah, with the 0. Yeah, right.
For 0.
And add their qualifications to the contract and authorize the county manager to sign.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Nobody's opposed. Thanks, Lakin. Number 6, for discussion and possible action to approve, disapprove the appointment of one individual to serve on the Public Lands Advisory Commission Board, which currently has 3 openings. And the new term will be July 1st, 21 through June 30th, 23, and the applicant is Mike Neff. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for your letter, Mike. I'll make a motion, if nobody has any questions, that we appoint Mike Neff to serve on the Public Lands Use Advisory Planning Committee Board for the term of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023.
All in favor?
I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good. Okay, thanks, Mike. Number 7, for discussion, possible action, approve, disapprove the reappointment of one individual to serve on the Debt Management Commission Board, which currently has 2 openings. New terms are from January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2024. Applicant is Bart Negro. Thank you, Bart. Any discussion? Motion?
Well, I'll make the motion that we, appoint Bart Mago to the Debt Management, Commission Board, which currently has the two openings, and but this one's for January of 2022 through December 31st of 2024.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed unanimously. Okay, number 8, for discussion, possible action to approve, disapprove a site license agreement between Lander County and Sky Fiber Internet to install and operate communications equipment on Mount Lewis premises.
Commissioners, this has come in front of you months ago. You've approved it. But they did the contract and we didn't like it. So you approved it with certain conditions. I made those conditions. I put it in this contract. We've done our own contract, and that's what's in front of you for approval.
Can you refresh the board of what those, what we didn't like about it, that we changed?
Well, they didn't have a 30-day out. They're, you know, the standard thing is that they just did it in their form.
Now this
And
is,
it wasn't a site license agreement. It was a contract. What we needed was a site license agreement. That was the primary change.
So this is the contract redone and reviewed.
Yeah, we turned it into a site license agreement,
Right.
which it is.
Okay.
So we're giving them a license to put their equipment on our site.
Well, they have had the equipment on the site.
Yes.
And they have paid us, so we are square. It's just now it's
Right.
follow through here.
We're following it up with our own
Right.
paperwork.
So I have a question. We have things in here, like the rent, for example, which we can review. It's a 3-year contract, but we can review it every year if we want to.
Yes.
What department does that fall under? Who's in charge of picking that up?
Admin.
You.
Would you guys like to review? Are you asking for this to be reviewed?
No, I'm not. I'm just
Okay.
asking who's responsible so that we don't miss it. So we might
Yeah,
think
they're
about it when your review time is up. Should we put it on the agenda or not? Are we okay?
We are trying to keep all the site license amounts the same,
Okay.
no matter what vendor comes to us for a site license.
Well, we're missing a few of our, basic contracts too, and, it's
here's
it's
a thought.
hard. So I just wondered what department. Thank you.
Here's a thought, and I don't know if it would make things more clear and easier for you, Bert, or if it would just make things more difficult. It's just, could we put a spreadsheet together that becomes part of our pack? And we can see the expiration dates of everything at every meeting, nobody misses it, it's on everybody's radar.
We do have a spreadsheet.
Okay,
We
perfect.
could add it to the pack,
Oh,
so
so if you have one, then no,
So there's multiple eyes. I think it would be better if there's multiple eyes viewing it, and
Yes,
for myself included, because I rely heavily on
Yeah.
the secretary to let
Yeah.
me know when something comes up.
Yeah.
Because I don't review them very often, so adding it to the back of the pack, I like that idea.
okay,
Multiple eyes seeing it.
cool.
Any more conversation about this, discussion? Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the site license agreement between Lander County and Sky Fiber Internet to install and operate communications equipment on Mount Lewis premises.
And authorize chair to
That's here,
sign.
and authorize the chair to sign.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 10, correspondence, reports, future agenda items.
Are we going to do look at the repeal of after-hour shooting on this coming agenda, or?
Yes, so that will be on this upcoming agenda. I will have the, rail, an update on the rail and a potential contract to enter into for, kind of a master plan and the understanding of how we can move forward with it, especially now that we got that, cultural resource management plan signed. The other thing is on the 29th from 10 to 2 will be the meeting in the community meeting room. And that meeting will have weather modification, environmental problems and solutions, 5G. There's a lot of information and presentations from scientists that'll probably be reaching in by Zoom. But it also will include, studies from Harvard and Yale and things like that. So it's backed up information that I think that it's important. The world's moving faster than I think a lot of us are keeping up.
So March 29th, that's a Tuesday?
What's that?
To run during the meeting?
Yeah, we might even do that.
We probably should do it in here.
And Liz just brought up a good point. If you guys would like, we might be able to do it in here and then run this call in as well, so people could call in here if they would like.
I like that idea. And this is on a Tuesday, right? Just make sure,
The 29th is.
we're talking March, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that is a Tuesday.
Yep.
And then, do we have any, anything going out to make, public aware that we're having this meeting?
We can
I would like
certainly
to
post
really get
it.
it out, yeah.
I would like to get a really clear description of everything that'll be spoke of to post for the public.
Yep.
That's what I have right now, and I'd like the presenters that are gonna be on that, I'm gonna get some more information. The people that are from Harvard and Yale that are supposed to
Could we
present.
contact the paper on that too, on the Bugle?
You bet. We can reach out and try to get that out the best we can.
I won't be here, I'll be out of state.
And I won't be here.
Okay, well, and like I said, the commission, if the commissioners do attend, we, obviously, it's a
Presentation.
presentation only. There's no questions allowed and nothing, so we go by the same rules that we went by with the previous one. Yes, so, that's all I have for you guys. If you guys have anything else that you would like on there, we have the shooting, we have the rail,
I'd like the advertisement thing to see if we can come up with a plan to get people to.
On the board, yes, I like that idea too.
The library, what's going on?
Is it okay to get
yes,
that?
we're still waiting on the, Polaris system. But everything there is moving, it's moving where it's supposed to be. They have a documenting system, they're over there cataloging books. Everything else is going well, it's just that Polaris system. And we will have the Endow Mueller Land water lease will be coming back before us to lease our water rights to Endow. We used to lease them to the Mueller Land Company out here on the Lickens Ranch. So that'll be coming before you guys as well, if Ted has it all dialed in.
Has Endow taken that over? yet?
They just, yesterday, or what day did we have the meeting, Brian? That was
That was,
a couple days ago, when we
Was it
met
Monday?
over here with,
We haven't got copies of it yet.
yes, but they just signed it two or 3 days ago it was signed. So it's fresh ink.
And just a note on our correspondence, in case you haven't had a chance to look at it, please do. There's some interesting information from Nevada Gold Mines on what they have put into the community, and also the rail auxiliary team, which really was interesting. So be sure and read that in your correspondence.
Good, thank you.
Anything else?
One last thing, Ms. Waits,
Yes.
you wanted, maybe us to bump the budget workshop from 9 to 10, is that correct?
Can we do that?
Well, I'm asking the commission if they would like.
Can we do that? We have to be
Why we
there
start
both
so
days. I'm guessing the weather's gonna be good.
it is gonna be wonderful.
But since I have to drive back and forth and it's late when we
I
finish, so.
that's
Is
fine.
10 okay?
Okay.
Since we have to be here both days.
Yeah.
I was hoping we could finish the first day and we'd leave early, but we have to do both days, so.
Yeah, Judge Shirley can't hear his budget on the 21st, so we have to hear his on the 22nd.
Who was that?
Judge Shirley won't be available on the 21st, so we will have to hear his on the 22nd. So if we did both days at 10, would be good.
Okay.
Well, if we're done on the 21st, too bad for Jim. Don't tell him I said that.
You're being recorded.
Don't tell them, huh?
Okay,
That
I need
was
a
our
motion.
Clark who said
I
that.
need a motion before I get in more trouble.
Motion to
Public,
adjourn?
no public comment we want
Oh,
first.
that's right. Public comment? No one from the public cares to speak. Anybody on the phone? Hearing none.
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.